Good hello everyone, my name is Nathan or ELEMENTofFROST. Welcome back to The Walking Dead, guys. This time we're not bringing you guys an episode review or an episode prediction. I am bringing you guys a trailer review for The Walking Dead Season 6. This is the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, and I can't wait to dig into it. But before we do, I am going to just tell you guys a few things that has been announced. So Season 6 will be returning to us, guys, on October the 11th. That is right. I cannot wait for that date. Literally mark your calendars, everything like that. It is going to be absolutely sick. I cannot wait for it. It's gonna, judging by what we've seen in the trailer, honestly, if it starts off like what we've seen in the trailer, is probably gonna be the best season of all time, and I can't wait for it. Anyway, digging into it a little more, this season premiere for Season 6, October the 11th, it will air for 90 minutes. That is right, guys. So as you guys know, the Season 5 season finale aired for 90 minutes as well. So it's the first 90-minute episode we've seen in a while, and, well, the Season 6 premiere, they're continuing with 90 minutes. So this is leading me to believe that every time a season premiere or a season finale happens, it'll be 90 minutes. Obviously, that's not a confirmed thing from now on, but from the last two episodes we've seen, we can kind of judge that that's kind of what they're planning on doing from now on. You know what I mean? So season finales and season premieres look to be 90 minutes. Who knows, though? Anything could happen. So moving on, that's what's going to happen there. If you guys need to catch up through Season 1 to Season 5, obviously before then, they're actually going to be running a 5 Sundays, 5 Seasons marathon. Each Sunday, AMC will basically air a single season of the critically acclaimed hit Beginning. Sunday, July the 6th, or July 26th. Sorry, my bad, I read that wrong. July 26th, July 6th, that would have been like 5 days ago, so you guys are already fucked. So, no, July 26th, and through until August 23rd. So that's 5 Sundays, 5 seasons. They're running a marathon of it. So I definitely recommend you guys go check it out if obviously you need to catch up on the Walking Dead. You know, it's a pretty good way to do it. Also, they're running a marathon, obviously, the week of The Walking Dead, starting from Monday, October 5th, to Sunday, October the 11th, obviously leading up to the premiere. They're running a marathon then, so if you guys don't want to watch a season per Sunday, you can obviously, you know, watch the marathon and do nothing else with your life other than just sit there for a week long and watch all, I think, 56 episodes of The Walking Dead. I believe it's 56. It could be a little tiny bit more. I believe that's what it's about, though. It's about 56. So, yeah, it's totally up to you. But anywho, moving on, guys. We're going to be talking about the trailer here. Trailer review. We actually did one of these last year on the San Diego Comic-Con trailer of The Walking Dead Season 5, and we're here to resume again with Season 6. So kicking things off, the trailer basically begins with Rick sort of running. Honestly, nothing much more than running. That's what happens. He's running down the road. He's thinking back to kind of like what Morgan, especially Sid in Season 3, when they met up, obviously, on Episode 12, which was entitled not Home. I don't remember what the title of the episode was, but it was Episode 12 of Season 3, so definitely check that out. Anyway, they were basically, saying, we've killed people, we're both killers, stuff like that. Just general stuff. And, this trailer leads us to believe that there's some sort of a conflict going on between Rick and Morgan. And I just don't think that's the case, and I'll explain a little why. First of all, the conflict seems to be going on with Rick basically making some of the people in Alexandria fend for themselves. They have to learn how to defend themselves, stuff like that, and that's totally true. You got to. You can't just rely on other people to save your ass every single time. It's not going to happen, and you need to learn how to take care of yourself. That's just how it is nowadays. That's what happens. That's just life. You have to learn to accustom to it, adapt, or perish, basically. Perish being, them dying. A horrible, gruesome death to walkers. But moving on. So, yeah, there seems to be a conflict. Especially since Morgan kind of walked in on Rick shooting... Jesus, I can't remember his name now. Shooting the guy in the face. Basically, the guy who took the katana. And, he was all crazy. He was all fucking crazy. He was the abusive husband. And stuff like that. I can't ever remember the name. Honestly, I can't. I'm having trouble. But moving on, uh, it basically resumes off that. And, him getting that first feeling of meeting Rick for the first time in quite some time, him just walking in on Rick, just shooting him, putting him down. Um, that could get pretty awkward. I could see how that could get pretty awkward. Morgan has this feel about him now that he's all peace. He doesn't kill when he doesn't need to kill. He doesn't kill really at all. Obviously, we've seen that back in season 5 when he had that opportunity on the season finale to kill those 2 wolves in the forest, and he didn't. He fought them, and he basically just tied them up and put them in a car, and then left them. He didn't kill them. He didn't want to kill them. Nothing happened at all. So he doesn't want to kill people. He has a peace about him now. And that's the thing. That's the thing that differs him from Rick. Because Rick, while I think he wants to have some sort of a peace around him, he knows that he can't. You can't have this peace around you anymore, especially when you're leading a group. You know what I mean? Morgan, it could have worked because he might not have ran into as many people because he's on his own and he could stay quiet and, never run into these situations where he goes to Terminus in search of sanctuary and, almost gets eaten. He didn't have to kill to get out of there because he wasn't there in the first place. I think he was planning on going there, judging by the start of Season 5, but nonetheless. All right, so, yeah, obviously they differ a lot now. Morgan has this piece about him, and Rick just doesn't take chances anymore. And that's what he basically explains to Morgan in the trailer. He sits Morgan down. He basically says, we can't afford to take chances. I can't take chances anymore. And Morgan basically says that you shouldn't have to. He's starting to understand, I guess, why he doesn't. Sort of seeing it in Rick's point of view, but I think that there is going to be some sort of a conflict. But the conflict proclaimed in the trailer is a lot more drawn out and a lot more over-exaggerated than what I think we're going to see in the TV series. In the trailer, we see, conflict going on between Morgan and Rick, Rick getting very angry, looks to be pointing a gun at Morgan, but we never really see Morgan at the end of that gun. We see Morgan beforehand, and then we see Rick pointing the gun, talking to someone, but we never see that it's Morgan. That's why I think they edited this trailer in a way to portray to the audience, to us, basically that, this conflict is going on between Rick and Morgan, and it gets to a drastic point of conflict where, they could kill each other. That's basically what they're trying to lead us to believe. And why I think they're trying to lead us to believe that is because they did sort of the same thing in the Walking Dead Season 5 trailer as well. If you guys remember, the way they edited the Walking Dead Season 5 trailer is they kind of made it seem that Gareth and Rick's group joined forces and went to Washington to cure this whole zombie apocalypse thing, because obviously back then Eugene was, still a scientist, and he obviously could go to Washington and cure the whole world, but obviously that didn't really pan out considering he was not a scientist in the first place, and he kind of lied about it. But nonetheless, that's what it led us to believe, guys. It led us to believe that Rick's group and Gareth's group, I guess the termites, joined forces and went to Washington together. Obviously, that's not what happened in the TV series. The first episode was an entire slaughter. After that, there was only a few termites left, and they kind of followed Rick to the church. Spoiler alert, they all ended up dying. The termites did. Not Rick's group. The termites did. I mean, Bob, I guess, got his leg cut off by the termites. But anyway, nonetheless, that's what happened. So there was a complete slaughter, and then Rick's group went to Washington. So there's never anything about Gareth's group going to Washington, joining forces with Rick's group at all. There was nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. But the trailer led us to believe so. That's just how it seemed. And the reason why I think that they're doing the same thing here in the Season 6 trailer is because of No Way Out, the comic book. I'm not going to sit here and do an entire review of No Way Out. That's just not how I'm going to roll. This is a trailer review and a brief trailer review. I don't want to go into detail for the next half hour about the volume of The Walking Dead called No Way Out. But if you guys have read it, I definitely recommend you guys go read it. Obviously, go read the whole graphic novel series if you guys fucking want to. Personally, it's, in my opinion, I would like to say that it's better than a TV show. You know what I mean? I really would. Mostly because I've seen way past the TV show at this point by reading the graphic novels, so I know what happens, but the TV show has a feel of its own. So I'm not going to go into that, but because of No Way Out and just situations that happen there, I don't believe that Rick and Morgan are going to get into a huge conflict with each other. You know, this whole you die or I die type conflict. You know, we see Morgan in the trailer a few times saying, you know, Rick, I can stop him, or I can stop him. I know Rick, you know, stuff like that. He's trying to explain to the group. They think Rick is getting out of hand. At least that's what the trailer seems to make us think that is happening. But I really don't think it is. I think they're going to have sort of a conflict at first, like a misunderstanding, I guess, with each other. You know, seeing as though Morgan is all about peace and Rick is all about surviving, doing what you have to do to survive. It's just the way it is. Fucking motorcycle outside. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I apologize. Fucking dick, I'm doing a video, so knock it off. Alright, well, anyways, that's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be a brief conflict, but I don't think it's going to be large. Like, they're basically getting it up to seem like it's going to be. I think where Rick is pointing the gun saying, you know, you really think you're going to take this community from us? And then he lists all the people. He lists, you know, Michonne, Glenn, Daryl, you know, everybody like that. He lists everybody. Basically, you know, you really think you're going to take this community from us? And then he basically just says, pointing the gun at somebody, again, making us believe that he's pointing the gun at Morgan. Like Morgan's the bad guy trying to, you know, take over this community. That's what it seems like he's doing, but I really don't think it is. I think who he's pointing the gun at, saying, who the hell do you think you're talking to, is the leader of the Wolves. That is right, everybody. The leader of the Wolves. Not going to go into detail about the Wolves or anything like that. I don't want to spoil anything that could come, because I have seen their whole storyline in the graphic novels, which is basically with this, like the scavengers, I guess is what you could call them. Not really the scavengers, but the wolves. So anyway, I've seen sort of a storyline in No Way Out, and I'm not going to go into it. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but that's who I think is pointing the gun. Again, this isn't a prediction video. This is a review. I'm just letting you guys know that I don't think it's Morgan. I really don't. I don't think this is a big conflict or anything like that. They're just making us seem, they're deceiving us, basically. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us all excited, all rallied up to see Rick versus Morgan, and then it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I don't want to see Rick versus Morgan, because I like both characters. I like them both a lot. Rick is probably more favorable out of the two, because I've seen more of Rick, but I can still feel and understand and sympathize where Morgan is coming from at the same time. So I don't want to be against a character. You know what I mean? I really don't. I want both of them to kind of unite. They both have these leader roles to them. They both can lead perfectly fine. I think they both have a good leader aspect to them. And I think that them coming into this brief conflict about peace versus survival, obviously peace being Morgan, survival being Rick, they're going to see this conflict, and it's going to be put to the test, is what it's going to be. It's going to be put to the test by them sort of, I'm guessing, fighting the wolves. You know, there's tons of walkers, especially that walker bomb, which it looks like it's a walker bomb coming to Alexandria from the outside of the walls. Looks very, very intense, and I can't wait to see it. I think they're going to kind of realize, after they have to fight this threat against their community, that, you know, we shouldn't have this conflict against each other. We should come together, we should unite as one, and we should fight this together. And I think that's the best way to come out of this thing alive, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, there is going to be a brief conflict, definitely, between Rick and Morgan. I don't think it's going to be as huge as what they're making us, you know, think it's going to be, basically. It's definitely not. At least, I don't think so. If it is, I would be very, very surprised. And it would be a weird way to take the direction of the show. as opposed to what happened in the comic book. But hey, the comic book is different than a TV show in some aspects. So really anything could happen at this point. We're just going to have to wait and see. Come October 11th, we're all going to find out. Okay, so that's basically what happens with the community. You know, basically them saying, especially Deanna saying that, you know, he's been out there. We have to trust him. We're all going to trust him. And again, that's making us believe that they're talking about Morgan. Now, whether they are or not, you know, they keep showing clips of Morgan while she's saying this. We all have to trust him. He's been out here. He's been out there. He knows what to do. We all have to trust him. Now, whether he's talking about Morgan, I don't think so. I think she's talking about Rick. Again, it seems to me they're trying to make us believe that they're trying to outcast Rick and his group. You know, that they're trying to get Morgan to lead them now instead of Rick. They think Rick's a danger to them all. And that's just not the way it is. You know, it's just not. It doesn't make sense. Considering how they left Season 5 off with, obviously, Deanna telling Rick to do it after, you know, obviously her husband got killed and shoot the guy, which he did. It doesn't make sense that she would tell him to shoot the guy and then just go against it all. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. So they're making us seem that everybody's turning against Rick, trying to basically banish him, exile him from the community, and I just don't think that's going to happen. If it does happen, I think it'd be pretty funny because, as Rick says, do you even know who the hell you're talking to? You know, you think you can really take this community from us? Because it's not going to happen. Rick will literally go out and bite everybody's throat out. Just fucking rip it out with his teeth. That's what will happen if anybody tries to fuck with him. So, other than that, guys, at the end of the trailer, basically, it was basically showing October 11th, AMC, and then it looks like Daryl has been kidnapped by the wolves. I don't know about kidnapped. I don't know if that's the proper word for a grown man. Man-capped. I don't know. But anyway, it looks like he's been taken, and he's all tied up. His hands are tied up, everything like that. And this guy's pointing a gun at him, basically saying, you know, if you don't say anything, I'll kill you. And then basically Daryl says, I'm not who you think I am. And he pulls back the rack on the gun and, you know, puts it in Daryl's face. Fades to black. And then it looks like Daryl gets out of the binding somehow. I don't know. He breaks his ties behind his back or something like that. He gets out of the rope. And he picks up the crossbow. He starts running. He sees a few people, like some women there. He aims the crossbow at them. They kind of look all defenseful and stuff. We don't know who they are. It looks like he was kidnapped or taken by the wolves, and it looks like he's basically trying to get away. You know, he keeps running. You hear him like constantly. I want to say panting, but you know he's not a dog. I guess. Well, in a way, Daryl's kind of a dog, but he's out of breath. He's breathing. He's panting, if you will. I guess panting is kind of a general thing. It's not really for a dog exactly, but I don't know. Anyway, moving on. He's running away. You guys hear him breathing, stuff like that. And then at the end, it's just kind of him sitting there on his knees, breathing very, very heavily like he just got away from something. And he's just chilling, you know? He's just chilling. It's a very, very intense trailer, and I definitely recommend you guys go check it out. Like I said before, link is in the description below. The first link there will take you guys to the AMC YouTube channel to watch that Comic-Con trailer of Season 6 of The Walking Dead. Now, other than that, guys, I don't really have anything else to talk about here today. I went into the trailer briefly. I'm not going to sit here and break it down scene by scene because there is a lot of content. It's about 4 minutes long. And speaking of the Walking Dead trailers, everybody, that is right. Fear the Walking Dead. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I will put out a video tomorrow, show you guys my thoughts and opinions and review of the Comic-Con trailer for Fear the Walking Dead. That is right, everybody. Yesterday, after the Walking Dead Season 6 trailer aired, after the Walking Dead panel, there was a panel for Fear the Walking Dead, and they aired a trailer, a 3-minute trailer, roughly around 3 minutes, for Fear the Walking Dead. The first trailer we've actually ever gotten, we've gotten some promos before then, but we haven't gotten a full-fledged trailer, and now we have. So I can't wait to review that. Hopefully you guys will tune in tomorrow for that review. If you guys want to see that review, feel free to hit the video up with a like, share it with your friends. Tell me in the comment section below, moving on from the Fear the Walking Dead trailer, tell me in the comment section below basically what you guys thought of the trailer. I want you guys to go watch it. Tell me what you guys thought. Tell me, you guys, your opinions on the conflict between Rick and Morgan. Do you guys think they just edited the trailer to make it seem like there's going to be a huge conflict between Rick and Morgan? Do you think there's actually going to be a huge conflict between Rick and Morgan, or is it going to be brief and short, and then they're going to work together to defeat the wolves? Because we all know it's coming. We all know the wolves are here. They're among us. They're coming for us, and they're probably going to try to do some shit to Alexandria. And that's who I think Rick, again, is pointing the gun to. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Let's have a little discussion, a little chat. And hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, feel free to hit the video up with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And tune in tomorrow for my trailer review on Fear the Walking Dead. All right, everybody. I will see you then. Bye for now.